This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. The people of Venezuela are facing a disaster of almost unimaginable proportions. Two powerful earthquakes just a minute apart have caused widespread destruction around the capital of Caracas. More than 180 people have died, but with as many as 30,000 reported missing, the death toll is expected to rise dramatically. The 7.2 and 7.5 quakes struck Wednesday evening. Hundreds of buildings collapsed in a region where many live in apartments. The search for survivors could take days. Multiple countries and aid organizations are sending help, but the worst affected area is just outside the capital, where the airport was severely damaged and remains closed. Electricity, cell phone service, and water have been cut off in many areas, and tens of thousands of people are now without homes. Here in Winnipeg, some Venezuelans are still waiting on news of their loved ones hours after the earthquakes hit. Many are holding out hope their family and friends are alive as the death toll climbs. The CBC's Santiago Arias Orozco has that story.
Hola Luis, es Noeli, estamos todos bien, lo que pasa es que no hay luz.
That's a voice note Luis Rodriguez Bonito got from a cousin visiting Caracas. It only lasted a few seconds. He says that's all he needed to hear.
Relief, very relief. Just she told me they don't have power right now, but everything is okay.
Major earthquakes back-to-back rattled Venezuela yesterday. Buildings, including in the capital Caracas, collapsed to a pile of rubble. Almost 200 are confirmed dead. That number expected to climb into the thousands. Watching the destruction away from home, it was hours before Luis Bonito learned his family was still alive.
Just think about that, who lost everything. When you lost everything, you don't have home, you don't have anywhere to go to sleep and to make life. That's the sad part.
Other Venezuelans living in Winnipeg are still hoping their loved ones, some in the most hard-hit areas, will respond.
I want to think that they are okay, that they made it. I don't want to think of, the unthinkable.
While many wait for news, Carlos Alfredo Barrios says local Venezuelans are figuring out how to help. Getting much-needed donations is relatively easy, but they will need government help to transport them.
It's important for Canada to look at it and help us, because without the help, how are we going to survive?
He says in a country so battered, now dealing with a disaster of this magnitude, the loss will be felt for months or years to come.
That's why we all need this help.
The federal government saying today they will send humanitarian help. Santiago Arias Orozco, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Instead of police cruiser cars, these officers will be cruising the streets on two wheels. Some officers will now patrol the city on e-bikes. It will help get cops into more challenging areas, like along the riverbank or through busy major events. But some say they don't need more negative interactions with police. CBC's Matt Humphrey reports.
We can actually lock them, like digitally lock them.
Constable Emily Moronic is electrified by the addition of e-bikes to the Winnipeg police fleet.
We purchased 16 of them to go across the city.
Until now, officers have been using mountain bikes, patrolling footpaths and getting where police cruisers can't always go.
We got brake lights, so when I hold down the brakes, just like in a vehicle, there's brake lights there. There's a front light as well.
The new bikes let officers patrol faster, so Moronic can get to people faster.
You're doing that almost every day, helping someone that's whether they're in crisis or they just need advice for something. I also like to help people feel safe.
Topping out at 45 kilometers an hour, many patrols will focus on paths along the river.
It's great because before this place was so dirty and lots of homeless people making mess and dents, and it was unsafe for us to walk because they were shouting.
People you don't really want to talk to, especially closer down away from the forks. It'd be nice to see more of a police presence in the area. I think it'll deter the crime a little bit, again, just that presence of police in a park.
Alexander Nanton at Chibo Waterfront Restaurant is supportive as well.
If they're mobile and they're on the e-bikes and they're in the exchange a little bit more often, I think their presence alone will probably help to curb what could potentially arise.
For 22 days now, Chris Ducharme has been living on the riverbank in a tent. He and his partner have built a home for themselves, complete with a garden.
Beans, or those peas that grow on a vine type thing?
Yeah, like snow peas.
And lettuce.
He understands why police would want faster bike patrols.
They target certain areas, so, but I don't like it, but it's probably the best thing to do if they want to catch people. It is probably one of the best moves.
He says he tries to keep to himself.
They come right up, knock to my tent and stuff. They're always like doing something, looking for somebody or something, and they see that most of us are not really breaking the law or just living.
Either way, police bike patrols in the city are picking up speed. Matt Humphrey, CBC News, Winnipeg.
After decades of lobbying government, massage therapy is now a regulated health profession in Manitoba. It's been a long road since the Massage Therapy Association was formed back in the early 1970s. Up until now, anyone could call themselves a massage therapist. In the past, there's been cases of sexual assault and fraud, and the association says this will better protect people.
With regulation, anyone calling themselves an RMT would be registered with a college. There would be a public registry, so the public could go to one single place, look up the person's name, and if they are registered there, they know that they are going to be seeing somebody who is properly trained, following a consistent standard of practice and scope of practice and code of ethics.
BC and Ontario have fully regulated massage therapy. Alberta and Saskatchewan are in the process of making that change. The association says it will set up a transition council to create an official college of massage therapy. Winnipeg's greenhouse gas emissions are moving in the wrong direction, rising last year largely due to food and other organic waste continuing to rot in the landfill. The city says a meaningful reduction won't happen until curbside compost arrives. CBC's Cameron McLean reports.
Winnipeg is getting farther away from its goal of reaching net zero carbon emissions by 2050. Greenhouse gas emissions from city operations rose by nearly 1.6% last year. The biggest reason was garbage. Waste buried at the Brady Road landfill accounted for nearly 2/3 of the city's emissions in 2025, as organic matter breaks down and releases the greenhouse gas methane. Water and Waste Committee Chair Ross Eady says repairs forced the shutdown of the landfill's methane capture system, leading to more emissions.
It is disappointing. We're not happy about it. We want to get to that zero. But there's many big things that still need to be moved into place.
Until curbside compost arrives, the city is relying on food waste drop-off sites operated in partnership with Compost Winnipeg. The program has expanded to locations across the city, and the organization says residents are eager to see the next step.
I think that everyone's just really hoping that 2030 deadline is met. If that happens, I think everyone's going to be, pretty satisfied with that. I mean, it'd be nice if it was sooner, but that's just not realistic.
The city says it won't make meaningful reductions in the amount of organic waste dumped at the landfill until the curbside compost program is up and running. It's hired a couple contractors to build a new facility near the Brady Road landfill, which is on schedule for completion by 2030. Cameron McLean, CBC News, Winnipeg.
All right, Riley, and now we saw a few of those scattered showers yesterday, and I can tell from the map behind you, probably the same tonight.
Yeah, carbon copy, Brittany, of what we saw yesterday across the province, and a carbon copy of what we'll see tomorrow, at least across the southern half of the province. As expected, some scattered showers, some thunderstorms working through the Parkland and down into the Riding Mountain region, but more so into northwestern Ontario and into parts of eastern Manitoba, Nopaming, down into the Whiteshell. This is where we have seen some pretty consistent thunder shower activity through the afternoon hours today. Once we get into the evening, the chances of these thunderstorms bubbling up decreases substantially. So once we get into the evening itself tonight, I think we're in the all clear for the most part. 25 degrees, 24.7 to be exact in Winnipeg this afternoon. Very seasonal for this time of the year. Westman also very seasonal, 24s through Brandon, Dauphin, where we do have some warmer temperatures again into northern Manitoba, 26s and 27s through Thompson into Gillam. So getting you prepared for the weekend here. Watch for an isolated thunderstorm as we head through Friday. Low to mid 20s across the province, mid to high 20s as we get through Saturday, looking at the possibility of some showers into the afternoon. And this becomes, Brittany, more consistent shower with some thunderstorms embedded as we get into the day on Sunday.
Thank you, Riley.
You're welcome.
It is graduation week around the province. Coming up, we check in with students at one school. Well, a quick warning for this next story. If needles make you squeamish, you might want to look away just for a moment. Healthcare providers in Brandon are leaving their clinics and going to the park. It's all part of a program to help make health services more accessible. CBC's Chelsea Kemp explains.
People don't always feel safe accessing services in more formal spaces. So Brandon Health and Wellness Groups are bringing STI and STD testing, along with inoculations, to where they feel comfortable, at the park. Courtney Cook, a member of the Manitoba Harm Reduction Peer Group, says connection and education are critical as HIV cases spike across the province.
I worry all the time for my friends and my family, and especially people that I don't know.
Cook helped organize a wellness fair in Brandon's Princess Park. It had games along with testing for diseases and infections like HIV, Hep C, and syphilis. Manitoba Harm Reductions, Solange Machado, says it's about education and prevention. She says it's essential to make testing easy.
It is a concern, and all we can do is provide the education, provide opportunities for testing, and whatever services people want to stay safer.
Brandon's Sexuality Education Resource Center's program coordinator, Caitlin White, says these get-togethers encourage people to spread the word on prevention, testing, and treatments. Many people she encounters are surprised to find out there's a public health emergency.
Many people have STBBIs and are asymptomatic, so that means their body looks and feels the same as it always does. So in many cases, the only way to know if you have an STI and then to get the necessary treatment is to get tested in the first place.
For Noden Paul, a member of the Manitoba Harm Reduction Peer Group, it's keeping people safe.
So I got kind of scared to do a test, but I got a little push, and that's what I did to each and every one of my associates and friends.
Cook says that's helping her live a longer and healthier life.
That's what I was scared of, to get tested and get a bad result. But then, you know what, when you do get a bad result, at least you guys, they're still there to help me.
Brandon has sexually transmitted and bloodborne infections community testing about once a month. People get tested on their first visit. The next time they visit, they'll get the results. Chelsea Kemp, CBC News, Brandon.
It's the end of a chapter and the beginning of a new one. Hundreds of graduates are throwing their caps into the air this month, and one close-knit high school class in Winnipeg is also celebrating their perseverance and resilience. CBC's Rosanna Hempel brings us more from convocation at St. John's High School.
4, 3, 2, 1.
These graduates are celebrating an important milestone. This is the grade 12 class of St. John's High School in Winnipeg. Isla Antique says it's bittersweet.
I'm a really sentimental person, and so just, seeing all my family and my friends gathering around and celebrating like this day with me, I really thought I was gonna cry, but I think I've shed all my tears.
Earlier in the day, an honor song played for the graduates as they filed in through chairs arranged like a medicine wheel. 101 students collected their diplomas. Indigenous graduates were honored with star blankets made by volunteers. Antique doubts she would have graduated, let alone become valedictorian, without help from the school.
This is a really special school. That's really what we are as a school, as a community, right? And we're always there to uplift each other.
Christian Colombe is also grateful for his friends and teachers, especially as he endured a family tragedy in February.
I was quite moved by all the support I got when my sister passed, and it was quite motivating to keep going to know all these people on my back.
Colombe's family traveled from across Manitoba to see him graduate. Next, he's off to study engineering at university.
I'm really proud that I was able to make a comeback academically.
Principal Brad Davidson says they're a deserving group of students.
It's quite incredible to watch them grow and to watch their ability to overcome barriers and challenge themselves and be resilient in no matter what they're facing in their home lives is quite something.
He says the medicine wheel stage symbolizes their journey through high school.
I'm happy it's over. I'm just sad I miss out on teachers and friends from here.
They're leaving with more knowledge and wisdom on a different path forward. Rosanna Hempel, CBC News, Winnipeg.
An elementary school in Winnipeg will have a new name when classes resume in the fall. Anabimanan School was chosen from 55 submissions as the new name of Dalhousie School in Fort Richmond. It's the Anishinaabe-Moan word for summer berries. The name was chosen in consultation with language and knowledge keepers. The previous name of Dalhousie came from a 19th century lieutenant governor who was known to support slavery and policies that marginalized Black people. The new name will be implemented in the coming months, and the division says that includes updating the signage. Lots of people outside today taking
Yes.
in the summer weather, and lots of people that were out on dog walks or just general walks yesterday that got caught in that little burst of downpour that we got.
Quick little 10-minute rain. All, part of this very unstable atmosphere that we have with some of the scattered showers and thunderstorms. And if you got caught in one of those showers, well, maybe you're just a little bit unlucky yesterday. Maybe you'll have better luck today.
Hopefully.
I mean, this whole active pattern that we have is also helping keep temperatures below seasonal for the most part for this time of the year. I do want to get into when we'll get into a bit more summer heat. So normal high for this time of the year, 25 degrees. I mean, we're well above seasonal into northern Manitoba, where we have seen temperatures around 26, 27 through Thompson and into Gillam. But have a look at some of the numbers as we get into early July here. So things staying below seasonal as we get through the weekend. There will be a little bit of rain as we get through Saturday and Sunday in particular across at least the southern half of the province. And then we start to get on a bit of a course correction here closer to that seasonal mark again into next week. And you can see by the time we get into Canada Day and into early July, we are back into that summertime heat above seasonal, at least according to this forecast model, with temperatures jumping up into the low 30s by the time we get toward the end of next week. I mean, there will be a little bit of play in these numbers because when we're looking this far out into the forecast, things can change as we get closer to that date. So we'll keep you updated on that as we get through the next week or so. Across the province today and really across the continent, another day of the very zonal flow, bit of extra what we call lift in the atmosphere. And that's what is keeping things unsettled for our neck of the woods, at least with some scattered thunderstorms into parts of western Manitoba, but a bit more pronounced into northwestern Ontario throughout the day today. That will all start to fizzle out once we get into the early evening. So once we're into the evening, I think we're pretty much smooth sailing aside from a few isolated showers. And by the time we're into the morning, another day of what I'll call rinse and repeat, looking at another day of a mix of sun and clouds, fairly decent temperatures. And again, that persistent chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms, particularly as we get into the afternoon. And this is all a bit of a precursor to what is coming into the weekend, a bit more of an organized area of low pressure that will start to push into the province as we get through the back half of Saturday. So Saturday itself, starting under a mix of sun and clouds, but you'll see we start to get more of that cloud cover building in and some instability starting to push in as we get through the back half of the day. You can see some shower activity through the evening hours, likely becoming a risk of thunderstorms as we get overnight, particularly on the western side of the province and a region, the Swan Valley in particular, that really doesn't need the precipitation. Looking at the risk of thunderstorms, and this becomes a bit more of an organized system as we get into the day on Sunday, at least at this point. There's a little bit of play in terms of the timing and some of the accumulation. I'll check back in on that tomorrow, but at least for Friday's temperatures, very seasonal, 25 in Winnipeg through the afternoon, 22s, 23s into the western side of the province. And looking into the long-range forecast, I was mentioning slightly cooler temperatures, Brittany, as we get into the weekend, a risk of thunderstorms into Sunday, and there's that correction course-wise as we get into early next week.
Thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.
And here's a look at some of the dark clouds that started to move into the city yesterday. We have much more ahead. Stay with us. A human rights group says Israel is accelerating forced evictions of Palestinians in occupied East Jerusalem. It says about 150 Palestinians have been forced from their homes so far this year. Several houses have been demolished, and more people are being told to leave. Human Rights Watch says it could become the largest wave of expulsions from the area in nearly 60 years. The CBC's Crystal Gabansing reports.
In the Silwan area of occupied East Jerusalem, you'll see giant murals of eyes peering down from the buildings, a sign in that community that people are watching. Palestinians who live there say they are seeing more and more homes demolished and more homes where Palestinians are being evicted and Israeli settlers are moving in. They say you can see that change because houses in the community will have Israeli flags flying on them now. One family that I spoke with, Adel Halim Shaludi, they had an eviction notice, but they have a bit of an extension. It was supposed to be for yesterday. It has been moved to Sunday. I was told that it was in fact Shaludi's parents who rented it back in 1964. The owner has long since passed away, but the property was taken over by the state under the absentee property law.
I lived here all of my life. I've been born here. I raised my children here. My children married here. And truly, for a decade, my dream is to die here. I want to say goodbye to my memories.
Now, there was a rally in the area not far from the Shaludis' home. Different organizations, including Peace Now in Iramim, they say they are trying to raise awareness about the number of Palestinians losing their home. One of the event organizers says she is aware of 27 different Palestinian families that will soon also be given eviction notices. Human Rights Watch is also trying to highlight this issue, noting these forced evictions and demolitions of homes in the occupied East Jerusalem area go against Article 49 of the Geneva Convention, and they are hoping that more people pay attention so that fewer Palestinians will be forced from their homes. Crystal Gamansing, CBC News, Jerusalem.
A health monitoring authority in Spain says more than 200 deaths since Sunday could be linked to extreme hot weather. This comes as large swaths of Western Europe remain in the grip of a severe heat wave.
We are actually going to leave a little early because it's too hot. We're going to leave Paris early.
Temperatures in Britain and France hit another record high for June on Wednesday. The scorching heat has forced some schools to shut down or reduce classroom hours in both countries. In general, many homes across Europe are also not equipped with air conditioning. Temperatures are expected to intensify in Germany, Italy, and Austria in coming days. The early summer heat is also posing a threat to crops. Prime Minister Mark Carney gave an update on the government's accomplishments in a wide-ranging briefing marking the end of the spring sitting of Parliament. But as Ashley Burke reports, he also faced questions about the challenges he's facing next.
The Prime Minister trumpeting his government's achievements while acknowledging the challenges ahead. Chief among them landing a deal with Donald Trump.
What I have seen with the president is that you're not close to make a deal and then you make a deal.
Carney's facing pressure to renew North America's free trade pact that's up for review next week, and to convince Trump to lower his tariffs, hitting some Canadian industries hard.
We could sign a bad deal this afternoon, right? We could have signed a bad deal a year ago. We're not going to sign a bad deal, so it has to be a real deal.
This summer, Carney is also headed back to the Stampede, this time with dozens of MPs ahead of a key vote about Alberta's future in Canada.
It's a dangerous bluff.
Carney says he plans to try and convince Alberta Canada is getting better on his watch. He warned of the dangers of flirting with separatism that he says at the very least could mean years of uncertainty at the worst possible time.
The whole country are moving to the forefront right at the time when we're seen as one of the most trustworthy, reliable, desirable countries to do business with, and we shouldn't mess that up.
The Conservatives leader agrees on the challenges, but says what Carney calls achievements are all a mirage.
It's all an illusion. The result of Mark Carney in the lives of ordinary Canadians is more cost, more debt, more recession, more crime, more of the same.
The one question Carney wouldn't answer was about his official residence. 24 Sussex Drive has been sitting vacant for more than a decade. It had to be gutted to strip out mold, asbestos, and rodents. Carney has called it an embarrassment and now says he'll announce what he plans to do with it on Friday. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Ottawa.
Canada has a new law criminalizing the distribution of AI-generated nude deepfakes. But a Halifax woman who was made to appear naked in a photo taken from social media says it won't help her. The man who created the photo has already been acquitted. Kayla Hounsell reports.
It's too little, too late.
Too little, too late, because a new law criminalizing the sharing of nude deepfakes is coming into effect after the man who created one of her has already been acquitted.
I have felt like I have been screaming into the void for the past almost 2.5 years.
Her identity is protected by a publication ban. According to court documents, her former high school classmate admitted taking photos of her and some other classmates from social media, using artificial intelligence to make them appear naked, then sending the images to others. He was charged with distributing intimate images without consent. In March, a Nova Scotia judge acquitted him, ruling the synthetic images did not meet the definition of intimate images as then defined in Canada's criminal code. Much that is unacceptable is not criminal, she wrote in her decision. The law does not reflect the technology that exists today.
Accordingly, the motion is adopted.
Now it does. A brand new law changes the definition of intimate images to include a visual representation that is made by any electronic or mechanical means, including by means of artificial intelligence software.
This is a change that should have been made before, but it's never too late to do the right thing.
The woman in the Halifax case says she's overjoyed others will be protected, but she says more is needed to truly help women and girls when it comes to this new crime. Experts agree.
We have suggested an independent regulator where a victim can say, I found a deepfake of me. What are my options? And then this place could provide options and also help them pursue the options.
And that's everything. With her criminal case closed, this woman says she's suing the man who made a deepfake of her.
This is another attempt at justice.
She's also calling for more education on deepfakes and more resources to help victims navigate the justice system. Kayla Hounsell, CBC News, Halifax.
A hospital in Ontario is believed to be the world's first to use an experimental treatment, one to help a teen heal and recover from severe facial burns. Shoshana Reed shows how her recovery is giving hope to other burn victims. And a quick note, some of the images in this report may be difficult for viewers.
The tissue is just not.
Dr. Mark Yeshke is about to show how his badly burned patient first came to him. The images are difficult to look at.
You can appreciate the depth of the burn.
18-year-old Caitlin Jeffrey was seriously injured with 2nd and 3rd degree burns after a fire broke out at a fraternity party.
I remember driving home and I was like, I do not accept to do a skin graft. I don't want her face to heal with scars.
Determined for a better outcome, his medical team at Hamilton Health Sciences acted quickly, getting compassionate approval from Health Canada for an experimental treatment using exosomes. They are tiny particles produced by cells in the body that carry signals from one cell to another and accelerate healing.
I have to say, I don't think anybody experienced this acceleration of regeneration of a deep burn, ever.
Through injections under the skin, surgeons applied 1 trillion exosomes over 2 sessions in a first-of-its-kind treatment. The results, remarkable for Jeffrey.
I had thought that my face was gonna look the way it did for the rest of my life, but the difference from before and after was night and day.
She avoided skin grafting surgery, and the procedure allowed her skin to heal fast and smooth. Exosomes have shown effectiveness in treating wounds, but researchers had yet to test them in burns on humans until now. Experts say it's a significant development.
Oftentimes, these patients need multiple operations to reconstruct different areas if they contract or if the scar is really bad.
Spencer Beach knows the physical and mental anguish that comes with treating burns.
20 seconds in a fire added up to 5 years of my life in recovery.
A workplace fire nearly killed him and left 90% of his body covered in 3rd and 4th degree burns.
I'm actually really excited to see where burn treatment is going because we're regrowing an organ, and that is massive.
Next, researchers hope to do clinical trials to better understand exosomes and prove this treatment can work for others. Tashana Reed, CBC News, Toronto.
Well, relief may be following disappointment today for Canadian fans. Canada will play lower-ranked South Africa this Sunday in this country's first ever knockout round match at the tournament.
It's not really a loss, you know what I mean? We still got this. We still won, technically, so it's all good. We advanced 32. Let's go, baby.
The Canadian supporters, known as the Voyageurs, will be taking their march on the road. Canada's next game will happen in Los Angeles. The two sides have met just once before, with South Africa beating Canada 2-0 in a friendly in 2007. The winner of Sunday's match will advance to a round of 16 game in Houston on July 4th. Why a 25% sale on airfare cost a Montreal couple more. How dynamic pricing and discounts doesn't always mean the best deal. We'll have that next. Air Canada is facing questions from some customers about ticket pricing. A Montreal couple found a sale fare cost more than their original ticket. As Sophia Harris explains, dynamic pricing can do that. But some experts say consumers should get more transparency.
This Montreal couple thought they'd scored a deal. Just 15 hours after booking a trip with Air Canada, they learned about a new promotion, 25% off base fares. So they immediately canceled their tickets at no charge and rebooked.
I was like, oh, this is great. We'll get 25% off. Fantastic. And then, yeah, I was very quickly disappointed.
Turns out the new tickets were more expensive, even with the discount.
I was pretty angry. I was very unimpressed. I felt misled.
In an email, Air Canada said the couple's initial booking price included a 20% discount, which wasn't disclosed. But that doesn't explain why the base fare for the couple's new tickets, with a steeper 25% discount, cost almost $6 more. Not much money, but for this couple, it was a question of principle.
Like, the sale wasn't really a sale at all.
Air Canada attributed the new higher cost to dynamic pricing, a widespread industry practice where the base fare climbs in real time when there's increased demand, like during a sale.
That's dynamic pricing. The pricing will change depending on what the market demands for that, and that's legit.
But this aviation expert also says the practice leaves customers in the dark.
How you base a sale has morphed into something today that is incomprehensible to the traveling public.
There is a formula, I guess, but it's not a formula that has any transparency behind it.
This law professor says one solution is to mandate that businesses be upfront about the use of dynamic pricing during a sale.
Disclosing this could help consumers to make, I think, a more informed decision.
Canada's Competition Bureau says dynamic pricing is a legally accepted practice, but it can raise red flags if it leads to unfair competition, and that the Bureau continues to monitor its use in the country. Sophia Harris, CBC News, Toronto.
All right, Riley, back in true Manitoba fashion. If you don't like the weather, just wait a couple days. We had really hot weather end of May, and then we got that cooler temperature, some sprinkles depending on the day. And your forecast now looking like it's going to be pretty nice next week.
Yeah, looking at temperatures rebounding, getting back into something that feels a little bit more like summer as we get into next week. But we have to get through the weekend here, which is looking pretty wet. At least at this point, as we get through Saturday into Sunday. All right, let's have a look at your dog walking forecast. And our dog walking forecast tonight takes us to Minnedosa, which is where Rocky lives and where Teresa lives. Thank you for sending this picture. And Rocky enjoying a swim in the lake there. You can send your pictures to talkback at cbc.ca. And Rocky, if you're heading out for that walk tomorrow, prepare for some scattered showers, some thunderstorms as we get through the back half of the day. Temperatures in the west topping out around 23, 24 tomorrow afternoon with winds perhaps a little bit breezy at times, southeast 15 gusting to 30, but the main risk being that chance of isolated thunderstorms that persists through the day tomorrow once again. All right, let's have a look at where we do have some heat in place right now. So across Western Canada, temperatures fairly comfortable, 23 in Regina, 25 in Saskatoon, but into the southwest U.S., 40 in Tucson, 41 in Las Vegas, into the 30s for a good chunk of Texas with temperatures like these prolonged for several days now in parts of the U.S. and also into parts of Europe where temperatures have been very, very hot for this time of the year, as we've been telling you over the past couple of nights now. Paris at 40 once again today, Frankfurt 37, Lyon at 37 as well. Still some very warm temperatures through parts of Europe, and there isn't a lot of relief coming, at least in the short term, for parts of Europe as well. So have a look at some of these temperatures. Paris 38 again tomorrow, 38 into Saturday. A cold front will come through, and that will knock temperatures down a bit as we get Sunday into Monday, but Frankfurt even at 40 degrees still into the day on Sunday. So some very, very hot weather persisting, and it's not just the temperatures, it's how prolonged some of this is on the other side of the world here. So that's the situation there. 13 overnight in Winnipeg, 12 in Brandon, looking at the risk of thunderstorms persisting as we get through the overnight hours into northern Manitoba. Temperatures 10, 12 degrees overnight. Looking at 27 in Lynn Lake again tomorrow, 27 in Thompson. We'll get that chance of some scattered scattered showers or some thunderstorms, and once again as we get through the afternoon hours. But overall, temperature-wise, fairly decent tomorrow across the south once again as well. 24s through Melita, through Brandon, Verdon. The risk of scattered thunderstorms again as we get through the later afternoon, Brittany, and temperatures very seasonal for this time of the year.
Thank you, Riley.
You're welcome.
Well, we know Manitoba has seen lots of severe weather this spring and already summer, and along with that, severe damage caused by flash flooding, hail, wind, and more. And it's been keeping some researchers busy. The Canadian Severe Storms Laboratory Group is in Winnipeg right now. They track storms across Canada and look at climate change. Greg Kopp joined Marcy Marcusa to talk about how they use a hail cannon filled with frozen ice to replicate hail to try to limit the impact of future storms.
We fire it at building products and see how they perform. One of the big issues in hailstorms is the damage it causes. Of course, it damages cars and roofs, and when there's wind, it also damages siding and windows, and then you get rain in and it's a mess. So we want to understand better how building products perform, so we test them.
What are some of the things to that end, if we stay with that thread, that people can do to protect their homes and property when it comes to hail damage and to wind damage from tornadoes?
Well, protecting for hail damage really is about how your building is built. So the products that you use can affect the performance. And we use asphalt shingles, and asphalt shingles really kind of suffer under hail. So there's not much you can do in advance. Or in the storm, but you can do things in advance when you choose products for your house. For cars, park them in the garage.
Yeah, right. That's a tough one with vehicles. How do building codes work to either protect Canadians, or how might they need to change given more severe weather events?
Well, the National Building Code is really working on adapting to climate change right now. It's considering things. Hail isn't in the current plan, but it might be in there in the next decade or so. We're actually trying to incorporate things like tornadoes in the building code now. As more and more damage is occurring for these things, we need to be able to protect people and property and reduce the losses. And so we're actually working to get tornadoes in the next version of the National Building Code.
How would that represent in the building code tornadoes? Just for example.
Well, what we have, for housing, it's doing things like putting in hurricane straps. So they're just small metal straps. They're pretty inexpensive, and it holds the roof down. Our roofs in Canada are really strong because of the heavy snow loads, and what we need to do to hold a roof down, to keep it on the walls, is just a few metal straps, and it costs a few $100s per house. So those are the kind of actions that we're looking for in the code to keep everyone safe.
Just while we're talking code, are you looking at anything about severe heat, or else ways to prevent flooding? Because those are also things in Manitoba we struggle with.
Yeah, the heat is an issue. Europe's really suffering right now, and there's a lot of deaths. So finding ways to ensure that there's ventilation and access to cool spaces for people is something that's important. Basement flooding is a real challenge in Canada. All of our houses, we all have basements. We all love having our TVs and couches down there as an extra space. And I know I grew up on the prairies here, and you dig a hole in the ground and it fills up with water, and it's called a dugout. And so our basements get wet. And there's things we can do about that. Backwater valves can help, but also the municipality infrastructure has to be dealing with the volume of water that's coming. And I think there was some challenges here in Winnipeg over the last few weeks with that.
In terms of the frequency of weather events, I was alluding to this, but given that this is the work you do, tell me a little bit more about how, in your estimation, when you look at this, we're comparing to other years in terms of severe storms.
This year is very active. It's been the busiest ever for our team. We had teams out doing damage surveys from Peace River, Alberta, all the way to Montreal, Quebec at the same time. It's been a crazy early spring for us with lots of severe weather. The number of tornadoes in the country, we're well over 30 to date already for the year, and so it's been really, really active. And then, of course, with these severe storms, you get the hail and the flash flooding and all that damage. So it's been a busy time. Some years it's quieter. When there's wildfires and smoke, it seems to suppress storms. So it gets really complex with what's happening as we go forward in the years.
Part of your work specifically does revolve around identifying severe weather events like tornadoes. How has the advancement of AI imagery impacted your tracking efforts?
AI is both a blessing and a curse in some ways. The blessing comes when we use a lot of a lot of satellite data, images of the Earth to identify tornado tracks, and AI and machine learning allows us to identify tornado tracks from the damage they cause in remote areas. But we're seeing also more and more fake tornado images from the public coming out, and so that's causing a challenge with identifying storms because we use visual imagery as well to identify and confirm them. So we have to watch now for really fake images.
Your daily dose of cute is coming up after the break. Plus, Riley is back with a last check on our forecast. Stay with us. A second center dedicated to hail claims is now open. This one located at Main Street Service Center. Manitoba Public Insurance says a storm earlier this month resulted in the highest number of claims related to a single weather event. MPI has received more than 25,000 claims so far. The first response center opened on Gateway last week. MPI says it will be able to offer about 400 appointments a day between the two.
All right, scattered showers and scattered thunder showers continuing across not just southern Manitoba, but across the border into northwestern Ontario as well. What was happening over the parkland starting to fizzle out. But just like last night at this time, there is a little bit of shower activity pushing through the city as well. Like last night, relatively short-lived. These are very localized showers, so I wouldn't read too much into that. It's likely going to be done in the next few minutes here. 23 as we head into Saturday, a chance of showers in the afternoon. So I think Saturday, for the most part, should be fine. And then we'll get into more showers and thunder showers as we get into Sunday. 25s into Monday, Tuesday, and jumping up close to or just above 30 as we get through the rest of next week. I have one weather picture for you. Lauren sent several in. So here's one of them of a couple of larvae from monarch butterflies that she took near Lorette. You can send your pictures to talkback@cbc.ca. Copenhagen Zoo is riding high after welcoming a third baby giraffe, Brittany, in as many months.
I love it. Here's your daily lift.
This year's been unusual in the sense that we've had 3 giraffe births since March, and that means that all of our 3 female giraffes have given birth.
The zoo in Denmark's capital is part of an international giraffe breeding program. The species is not endangered, but it remains vulnerable. The giraffe population has declined significantly in the wild over the past few decades. That trend has made zoo births like this all that much more important.
And if you didn't know, a group of giraffes is called, I think appropriately, a tower. And when a wild herd is on the move, it's called a journey.
I mean, it's got to be the tallest babies out there,
Oh, yeah.
I would
Big
imagine.
babies.
I love that. Haven't ever seen one in the wild.
No.
That would be very cool.
No giraffes on my balcony, but I did plant some flowers that are supposed to attract butterflies.
There we go.
So we'll see how that materializes this summer.
We'll get a picture maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Have a wonderful night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.